welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Tom, and with me this week is Adam. Hey man, how's it going?
I'm alright. I'm living and doing things and being less exciting than you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've had a bit of a busy time. I've been off to RTX, off to America, had a good time there. That's going to be a story for another time, because I'm sure, as the last 3 episodes have all been about RTX, this one kind of need a break from it. So, yeah. I have been playing lots of games. Have you been playing lots of games? There's lots of things that are coming up that have got me excited, and you might be able to tell in the tone of my voice.
I have been playing lots of games. The Xbox just had like a massive sale, so I was picking up loads of older things. So I just picked up Shadow of Mordor.
Ooh, how is it?
So I've never been a huge fan of like the Assassin's Creed type games.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like that. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I would give it like a solid 8 out of 10, but not a score higher, not a score lower. Like, I think if you're a fan of the Assassin's Creed type games, it's awesome. It's like plays really well. As someone who's not, there's so many things I'm sitting there just like, no, why aren't you? Like just wishing it was more of a stealth game or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so stupid. What does this have to do with Lord of the Rings? And I'm just full of complaining. But it was like £4, so I can't really complain. And I've got like 15 hours into it so far and not put it down. So clearly something's working. I'm trying to think what else I picked up in the sale. All the Resi games. I got Resi 4, 5, and 6. Because those are good. 5 and 6 are really good co-op games.
Yeah.
So I've been playing those with my brother. And I thought I'd have more interesting things to say because I bought all this stuff. And now I can't think of what any of them are.
Oh, dear. The Steam sale was on recently, and I bought a bunch of games in that because I just got myself a fancy laptop.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, now I have PC games. But I did really well in that I bought Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3, and I'm just like, Roller Coaster Tycoon!
I love Roller Coaster Tycoon!
So I'm having a wonderful time working through the scenarios in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 right now. And it's like, they're not as short as well, each of the scenarios. And it's just like, how do I do this the best? How is this going to work? And it's so much fun. It took me a while to figure out how to actually get it to play, because you need to like enable legacy settings and like use like direct play and all this nonsense. They're all like hidden away. I like downloaded them like, great, time to play. And then it's just like, I spent like an hour trying to figure out how to actually get them to play. Like after Googling and things, and it was just, a bit of a nightmare, but you know. And then I got City Skyline as well, which I played a whole of 8 minutes of. Yeah.
Do you find those kind of games really relaxing? Because I mean, like the kind of work and stuff that you've done is also very methodical and very like planning out. Do you think it's just like exercising that part of your brain, but in a lower stressed environment, or?
Totally. So one of the things I have been playing is the Sky Factory 3 mod for Minecraft, where you start on a tree on a block of dirt, and that's all you have. Yeah. And then you have to build the universe. And so cool. oh my, it's so much fun. So I've written 6 parts of a series of journals about it. And I've written up to part 6, and I started probably 4 weeks ago playing this version, like the world I'm on right now. And I've already got planned up to part 24.
What?
Because I've done so much stuff, right?
That's amazing.
So Achievement Hunter have been playing it as well, and they've done a Let's Play series. They've got up to part 10, and they're doing in part 10 what I've done in my journal series. At the same time, they're doing what I've done in part 6 that I've just written about. But they've also done what I've done much later in what I think was going to be part 22 of my journal series.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, it's just like different approaches into how to get the game running, and how to get it running smoothly as well. So you start on just a tree, you cut down the tree, you make a crafting table, you then put wood down so you build your platform bigger. You then use a crook to take down leaves and get resources, like extra not leaf blocks. That comes later once you can make shears. You need saplings so you can grow more trees. There we go. Then you grow more trees, build your platform bigger. Once you've got a big platform, then you can start sieving things, but you need to build barrels to make dirt. And once you've made the dirt, you sieve, and then you get bits of cobblestone that you put together to make actual cobblestone. And then, once you've got a certain number of things, you can make a cobblestone generator, which is very, very, very useful. Probably the first main goal. It's certainly the first main goal that I worked on. And then from there, you've got cobblestone that you can use to build lots. The problem is if you put cobblestone down and you try to vein mine it, which is just taking a whole chunk of the world out, you could lose your whole platform if you've done it incorrectly. If you're like, yes, I will mine all this out. So I just put wood down everywhere. So I make trees just to do that because I'm never going to vein mine the wood. Unless you accidentally mess up your mob farm and everything falls down onto your wood platform and they blow a hole in it. Now all your mobs are on the bottom level and you have no way to actually kill them all. So you vein mine out the wood that's beneath them but not beneath you. The whole platform disappears and all your problems are solved.
Are you speaking from experience there?
Yeah. I accidentally I built a mob farm which has like water flowing and it will knock mobs down. They'll fall to the bottom and then they'll die if you've put spikes down. But I hadn't got enough iron to make the spikes, so I was like, I will slash at them with a sword until a creeper came along and blew up the bottom. And I was just like, this is no good because now they can get free. And when they could get free, shenanigans started happening, and that's when all the nonsense happened.
I feel like my personality, that's the kind of thing where like one creeper would ruin everything and I'd be like, and quit. And then I would have to not play it for a week. And I'd be like, I really want to play this. Play it, load it up, and then instantly get angry again. You'd be like, oh yeah, creeper, how dare you?
Yeah, I immediately had to like panic to figure out what I was going to do. So it was like, build a wall so that the mobs couldn't get past, and then try and take them out so that I could get to the thing. Eventually, then I realised that, I could vein mine the floor out from underneath them and then go fix it all. But that was a whole process, and it took me like half an hour to figure out what I needed to do. Of just sitting there with the game paused, being like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die.
It's funny, like, I've gone back to a load of older games of that kind of style.
Yeah.
I've been playing Minecraft on Xbox One a bit, and I don't know why, but me and one of my friends, like, we play a lot of Overwatch, but Overwatch is quite stressful, and this season they keep making changes, so people are kind of antsy, and the community's a little bit difficult at the time, so getting good games is stressful, and people are kind of yelling at each other a lot. So we've just been taking breaks and playing Viva Pinata, which was like an Xbox 360 release game, which is adorable and cute, and you make a nice little garden, and then these fuzzy little pinatas come, and we just spent all this time being like, how do we make our garden pretty? So a swan appears, which is like the total opposite, because we're used to playing like Call of Duty and Halo together, and being like high-action first-person shooters all the time, and just screaming at the top of our lungs, to going like, where should this hazelnut tree go? It's like such a different environment, but it's so nice.
Nice.
To just like chill out. Which is like
cool.
But we'll also go. We've been playing a lot of Payday. That's something I've been got in the sale.
Payday 2?
Yeah. Which is a lovably broken game.
Yeah.
It's like
how so?
I actually didn't realize that the team that made it originally, the game's I think 4 years old now.
Yeah.
They got bought, and a different studio has taken over making all the new content for it. And they've said they're going to do like another at least 18 months of free content for it. They're just going to keep putting out expansion and stuff, which is cool. I didn't realize that. So there's still new stuff coming out, which is cool to see, and all that kind of junk. And then there's no doubt everything's going to kick it up again with Destiny 2, because I think there's more stuff. Something was out. Beta trailers and stuff. Yeah, so I'm not really a Destiny person, but I knew that you would be excited, so you can tell me what's going on.
Okay, yeah, so Destiny 2 is coming out on the 6th of September. We got moved forwards 2 days. It was going to be on the 8th. But they pushed it forward 2 days. The PC release is in October sometime. I want to say October the 27th, but I might be wrong. The beta starts on the 18th of July, which is 2 days ago from recording, but tomorrow for us recording. And but that's only for PS4 pre-orders. Then on the Wednesday, the 19th, the Xbox One pre-orders will be able to play. And then on Friday, the 21st, it will be open to the public to play the beta. And then on Tuesday, the 25th, it'll all shut down again. But it's just to like stress test the system. There's going to be 2 PvP game modes, story mission, and strike to carry out. And there's going to be 6 different subclasses to play. I don't know if that's whether there's going to be 9 available or only 6, but that's not something I personally don't know. It's something that they haven't released the information on yet.
How do you remember all of this? I've just been sitting here, listing dates and info, and I was like, do you have a script? What's going on?
No,
Clearly, people who don't know, Topham is a big fan.
That's
big Destiny fan.
That's just how my memory works.
That's
like,
That's very true.
I can just remember things, which is really weird. Like, I was listening to a band today, like Organ Odin or something like that, and they have a guest on one of their tracks called Liv Christine. I was like, I know that name. And I was like, I remember the name because the singer has like a really distinct voice. And I was like, I recognize that voice. And it's from a band that have a name that has the same word as one of the words from Dream Theater. And then I was like, what band is it? I was like, Dream blah, blah. And then I was like, Theatre of Tragedy. Got it. Then I Googled it to make sure I was correct. I was. And then I was like, oh, I should listen to Leaves' Eyes, which is another of her bands. I was like, yes, that is exactly what I will do. And like, oh, my brain just took me on a wild journey.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
So yeah, that was a whole laugh. But yeah, the Destiny 2 beta is going to be playable, so I'm going to be sinking a bunch of time into that. And then that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a limited amount of things to do, like very limited maps. So I might get bored of it pretty quick, but you know, that's just me. And then the end of this week, so over the weekend, the new Diablo season 11, is going to start with the Necromancer being available because that was released like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Probably 3 weeks ago. I'm very much looking forward to that. Probably not going to play Necromancer, to be honest, though. I'm just going to stick with my monk because I'm like T13 monk, so I'm just like, that's good, that's amazing. And but like the conquests that they've set for this season are just kind of ridiculous. I struggled to get to Greater Rift level 70. I cleared one and I was like, I've done it! And then the conquest for the new season is Greater Rift 75. I'm just like, oh, game, why?
Brutal.
Why? And so yeah, that was that's a tough thing to face. And yeah, that's a thing. And
yeah, so clearly you're excited for Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is going to be good. It's going
What
to be...
are you expecting from it in relation to the first game?
I hope there's a bigger, better story. I just hope to have... Yeah, at launch. I hope to have... I don't know. I just want to play games with my friends, and Destiny is one that's easy to jump in and out of really quick. Oh, yeah. Like, whether people want to play PvP or PvE. I'm not particularly good at PvP, but PvE I'm a big fan of. So I really like doing the strikes and raids.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to those. Having a lot of those to do. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, and yeah, a lot of people seem to be excited about it. A lot of my friends seem to be keen for it, but yeah, it's only like 2 months away. And so
yeah. Everyone I know who's a big Destiny fan has basically said if it's even remotely similar to where the first Destiny left off, but with just more content, a little bit tighter, a little bit more just of everything, we'll be totally happy with that, which is cool because I think Destiny 1 was in a really difficult place when it launched, and it did a really good job of keeping itself together.
Yeah, it could have been a complete disaster, but it luckily wasn't. And with like what I've heard so far, because IGN at the moment are doing their IGN first for July is Destiny 2, so they've got like loads of exclusive news. I actually haven't been able to keep up with any of it. I've just listened to their 2 podcasts from the last 2 weeks. So I'm probably going to have a binge on that over the next few days as the beta's live, and just try and catch up with all the news that's come out of that. And just, get an idea as to what's going on. It looks like weapons seem to be fixed to certain styles, like certain weapon perks are fixed to certain weapons, rather than them having random perks, which is, I don't know, that's something that characterized Destiny 1, but at the same time, everyone was always seeking out a very particular role of a weapon. Yeah. So now they're saying, okay, we're going to have fixed perks on these weapons, so the weapon itself will be desirable no matter how you get it. The weapon itself will be fixed. So you'll be searching out one gun. And then that also makes the balance of the game a little bit easier. So as they can say, this particular weapon is too powerful or is too weak. We should bring that weapon in particular up or change the perks on it. Rather than in the past, it's like, oh, this hand cannon seems to be doing a good job, but we don't know why. Or looking at the array of perks that are being used for it, so they nerfed the whole archetype of that weapon, rather than the particular weapon that was causing the problem. And so, yeah, it's interesting that they've chosen to go that route with things. And yeah, certainly a very interesting time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for multiplayer stuff. I don't have a Switch, but I'm drooling at one because Splatoon, the first one, was one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And Splatoon 2 looks exactly the same, but
it looks real good. It looks real good.
And I had so much fun playing the first one as a... It's crazy, I found out there's actually a competitive Splatoon scene in the UK.
Oh, really?
I never expected that, but there's pro gamers playing it.
Oh, my.
But it's just such a humorous yeah, we're kids spraying ink at each other, just painting the walls. It plays like that, and it's even when it's a really tight game where it's really intense, or even if you get your butt kicked, it's still fun because you're just yeah, I'm shooting it's ink spray at the wall, all this
nice.
Just ridiculous Nintendo stuff. And there's a couple indie games out this month that I'm interested in. A friend turned me on Fortnite.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of things about
that. The Funhouse guys did a gameplay of that, but it was hard to tell because one, it was a sponsored video, and two, it doesn't look like the kind of thing that they would play anyway. I imagine that the four of them wouldn't sit down and go, let's play this, outside of work, so it's kind of hard to get a genuine reaction.
Is that the game that beta codes came out, or passcodes came out for playing as characters from Rooster Teeth and Funhouse?
Maybe.
I think
it's the one where it's a zombie defense base builder.
That might not be the one I'm thinking of then. Oh no, I'm thinking of an entirely different game. There was definitely Fortnite presence at RTX, which made me think of it. But no, that would make sense as to that they've done a sponsored video. So yeah, that's interesting.
So because tower defense, zombie defense, and base building are all things which make good. Me and my friends, that's the kind of thing that we've always played. It's always great for yelling at people and stuff going wrong, and the kind of thing you're like, why are there zombies behind us? And you see a character standing still, someone's like, I'm texting, and you're like, no! That kind of stuff. And there's another game which is out, I think, on the 20th. So that's out on the 25th, if you didn't pre-order it. And there's a game which comes out either the 26th or the 28th, which is a game I played before it was out at EGX 2 years ago, called Unbox by a UK studio called Prospect Games. Ooh. And I don't know how to describe it other than Mario Kart meets Banjo-Kazooie. And it's the prospect is there these or the world is these self-delivering cardboard boxes, and you basically play as these comical cardboard boxes that bounce around and you platform, but the main multiplayer mode is Mario Kart style race combat.
Nice.
And if you watch it, it looks kind of dumb, but it's insanely fun. It's just one of those games which you're I don't get it. And then I played it and had an absolute blast, and the studio is really nice. So I had a really good time just sitting there at their booth being no, I'm playing this! It's like speedrunners. It's one of those games that you watch it and you're what's so good about this? And you play it and it's just nuts, and it's a really good experience with your friends. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else is coming out this year.
Well, I picked up a game called Black Ice at RTX. I've written a journal about it, but it's a first-person shooter, but there's RPG elements to it. You can increase your power, increase your health, increase so you get weapons and sprint abilities and jump abilities. And then you can have 5 abilities heals, constant heals. So if you get hurt, it's gonna replenish your health, or an instant heal. And then you can have minions that fight alongside you, abilities that will stun enemies that are nearby you, and each of those takes up part of your resource cost, and you have a constant resource cost that will regenerate, but you can have a whole bunch of it that's allocated to your attacks.
Yeah.
And it's about to get a patch. It might have got a patch already this week, but the patch is due this week. And yeah, like I said, first-person shooter, and with all these abilities, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's certainly interesting. So what you have to do is you run up, and there's these big boxes, which are servers, and then you need to hack the servers, which just sends wave of enemies after you. But there's a story and quest mode that's going to be incoming to it. It's it's quite early. I don't know how early I am onto it, but it's clearly still in development. But the mechanics and the gameplay are solid enough that I'm having a good time with this.
Is that on PC? Or?
It's on PC. Yeah. I've probably spent 4 hours playing it so far.
Yeah.
And with the new patch that's coming in, they're going to wipe all the progress. But I'm completely okay with that. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where the game's going. And yeah, I highly recommend it. It's like black and neon colors is the color scheme. The servers, once you hack them, go white, so it's obvious that you don't need to do them again. Yeah. And yeah, it's real good to play. It's fun. I'm having a good time. I'm going to connect a controller up and see how that works. But mouse and keyboard, I'm still not too familiar with, so I'm trying to get used to that. But that's good. That's enjoyable. And then the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy came out recently.
Oh yeah,
and I'm having an absolute blast playing. So much so that everyone that's watching this will know that the gameplay is being recorded of Crash 3, which is my favourite of the 3. And I know now that I haven't recorded it, and I know I need to record it. So I'm like, yes, I get to play Crash, and I know that's what I'm going to play and record because that game's just so good. And yeah, people are complaining about Crash 1 being a bit more difficult than they remember. I never played Crash 1, but I am definitely not having the easiest time with it. And so yeah, but it's good. It's fun. It reminds me of exactly the games that I played when I was younger. I don't remember the bosses being so difficult in Crash 3, or the first boss being so difficult in Crash 3, but that might just be me and not having played it for a long time.
Yeah, I find that, especially with all these old games coming back, I think just everyone now sucks at games. I think everyone just doesn't remember how hard games were back then. Yeah. And that was a good part of, obviously we're in the UK and, what's the word I'm looking for? Money has changed value.
Yes.
Over the years. Like an N64 cartridge at one point was £80 new. You wanted your money's worth. You wanted to enjoy that experience and to get money out. Or like an arcade machine. They needed to make money on those somehow. So we go back and you're just like, man, this game's really hard. And you're like, yeah, well. So yeah, I have these things where I've played old games, I bought them on Steam or something, and I'm like, man, me as a kid was so much better at games.
Yeah.
How did I get past this boss? And I have these memories of doing it. I mean, I don't remember it being this hard. I remember being really good at this. Clearly I suck now.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things. If I go back and I'm playing Dark Souls, Dark Souls is a bad example. Dark Souls 2. If I go back and I'm going to play Dark Souls 2, I still find it challenging. But if I go back and play Dark Souls 1, I'm just this is easy. But that's because I've spent so many hours recently playing it.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to play through because the last DLC or last thing for Dark Souls 3 just came out recently?
It came out relatively recently. It came out about a month and a half ago, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure. So some of my friends are just getting around to playing through that. And that's inspired me that I think I want to do a Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 back to back. That's the next thing to keep me occupied. I played a ton of Dark Souls 1, but I feel because so many of my friends are really Dark Souls-y people, and I've played a fair amount of all three of the games, that I've finished them vicariously through them. But I've only had once or twice actually gone through in one file throughout the entire game and finished it. But I'm well, I've seen everything, and I've done all the stuff, and I've fought all the bosses, but I've not actually done it myself. But those games are so good.
Yeah, they're so much fun. I like them so much.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I've speaking of old games as well, I've been playing. What game is it? Oh my god, Final Fantasy X, and then I've just got Final Fantasy 12 as well because that's just the HD remaster for that actually came out last week.
Yeah.
And so I'm about to play through that as well. I'm really looking.
I love Final Fantasy X. I played so much of that.
Yeah, I've just got through.
When I was in high school.
Yeah, I think I've just got through Bavel, so I'm just about to I've been steamrolling through that game, so I'm I know where I'm at as well. I know what I'm trying to do, and I know what boss is up next. So I'm just I'm working my way through Bavel, and I know that I've taken down Evray to get in, but Dark Evray is in the water place. Ooh, the most difficult boss.
How's your Blitzball team doing? That's the real question.
Actually, I haven't played any Blitzball yet. I won the tournament, and then I'm just no, I can't. I want to get to the end game part where I can buy the characters that I know are good.
Yeah, I remember before when I was playing, And my brother used to load up my file so he could play Blitzball. He'd be like, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to play Blitzball on your Final Fantasy X account. I'm like, sure.
The best thing to do is get 1-0 up and then pass the ball a bunch until like the end of the at the end of the game, like in the early stages, and then like once your team are like level 15, 20, and the rest of the like teams are like level 6 and 7. You're just like, this is good, I can play now. And then you just win like 20-0 every time.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah. What a nonsense game that is.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X was the first Final Fantasy, which wasn't like a handheld that I got really, really into.
Yeah.
My brother played 7 when it came out, and then he was like, oh, here's 10. I bought it on PS2, and then I ended up just playing the balls off it.
Yep.
But so have you played a lot of the Final Fantasy games, or is it mostly just 10? Or
I've played probably the first disc and half of the second disc of 7. I got to about halfway through the third disc of Final Fantasy VIII before my save file corrupted, so I gave up.
Ugh, heartbreak.
Yeah. I played the first disc of Final Fantasy IX. I played all of Final Fantasy X, all of Final Fantasy X-2, all of Final Fantasy XII, all of Final Fantasy 13, but not 13-2. I definitely had it, but I never made it through. And then I didn't finish 13-3 either. I don't think I even started 13-3. And then I've played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then some of the side things as well. Kingdom Hearts 3's just been announced, like, properly, with a proper date. Yeah. And, like, actual information about it. And some story stuff saying that there's going to be Toy Story stuff going on. So there's been back and forward.
And stuff.
I know, it's
really
so promising.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
That's something which, like, I'm going to have to hunt people down so I can play it. But, yeah, I just, like... I don't know, it's nice seeing a game which has so much excitement and isn't really heavy. I don't really know how to describe that, but so many things, it's like this big contest to out-grandeur each other.
Yeah.
And maybe just because it's Japanese, it just naturally has so much baked in, but it's like, yeah, this is Buzz Lightyear beating up these bad dudes, and you're jumping off Andy's house, and I'm like, yay! Toy Story!
Yeah, I think
that'd be really good.
I don't know, that story can get quite emotional at times.
Yeah, for sure.
The Kingdom Hearts. So it's like, most of the time I was going to say goofy, and then I was just like, that's a bad joke.
So punny. Unintentionally punny.
I know, I was so close. But yeah, I enjoy it, but yeah.
I think they're really delicate, but without this, like, I don't want to call it Western, but my brain is failing me. This thing where everything's bigger than the previous thing, and like, you know, that's what happened with like the Call of Duty franchise, where this game went into space, so this game had to go into more space with bigger robots. Whereas I think a series like Kingdom Hearts is so much like, although there's this crazy world, there's so much going on, it's like such a personal story that they tell, totally. And it's just done such a great job of that, and you can see how the fan base feels about that as well, the reaction to all the new stuff that's coming out. I think loads of people are super excited, and it'll be cool. I don't know when it's supposed to be out. I didn't pay enough attention.
2018 sometime.
2018 question mark. Yeah, there'll be a load of stuff like Red Dead 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Is out at some point next year, generically question mark.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen with that? That's another game which, if it's even anything like the first one, I'll like. The first Red Dead Redemption was a really good game. Just cowboys are cool.
Fair enough.
I wanted to be a space cowboy until I was like 17. So
nice.
Never let the dream die.
It seems like we've talked about all the games ever.
I think we have. We've touched on almost every console ever made.
I know, right? Crazy. Oh man, I want the SNES Classic so bad.
Oh yeah, it's so cute.
It looks so cool. But Adam, where can we find you across the internet?
I am rarely, but I'm there on Twitter at AdamCastle13, and yeah, that's the best way to find me. Or cool. Attitude Castle or Attitude 13, or some combination of the words Attitude Castle and 13, and it's probably me or Taylor Swift.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. I can be found across the internet at Destroy Topham or at Aethfar, depending on where you look, really. I don't really know. I haven't really been keeping up with Twitter. I've just been auto-posting things, and To be honest, Rachel takes all the pictures and tags me in them, and that's good enough for me. So, yeah.
You're like, my job is done.
Yeah, I've been in a picture. Woo!
I was in the place. Woo!
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Adam, for being my guest this week.
Yay.
And have an exciting week. Goodbye.
Woo!